Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and in this holiday season, the Christmas season, I want to come in and do a quick little review for you. This is the Power of the Primes Wave 1 Legends class figures, at least the new molds. We do know that Scrapnel was a repack, and you know, that figure I already sold off, so it's this. I already reviewed them back in Thrilling 30, so go and look at that one. But if you've been following my daily Advent vlogs, you know that this review's been a little slow in coming just because, you know, when I really like some figures, you know, it's hard for me to stop fidgeting with them and stuff like that. And I really do dig these Legends figures. And what's surprising is in this Wave 1, you know, I've got two figures that really touched the nostalgia button on me because they were characters I was very close with and fond of back in the day. I really loved their toys. And we're starting off with one now. This is Beachcomber. Now, Beachcomber kind of made a little cameo in my Prime Master video, if you remember. And of course, you know, you should also remember from that a Prime Master, Titan Master can sit in that little canopy right there. Rolls very nicely. Great update to the original G1 toy. I'll even say it's better than the old Legends class figure, back when Legends figures, what we call Legion figures, were Legend figures, and what we call Legend figures now were Scout figures, but whatever. I think this does it a lot better. Transformation is very simple. Just come in the sides here, unpeg the arms, just like that. Separate the roll cage, flip that up. Go ahead, come in, flip the legs down, then come up, flip the front roll cage up, and then separate the legs. Those will be heels. Hips are a little loose, but not too bad. Then come around here, slide. That's really cool. Just slide that torso down, and bada bing, bada boom. Hey man, it's all cool, 'cause you got Beachcomber in robot mode. Oh, yeah. Really digging this. Nice update. Looks really close to the, you know, animation model. It's funny to think that before this, you know, besides that Legion class figure, we had a repaint of Energon Cliff Jumper as Beachcomber, and that was what people were using as Beachcomber for a while. But you have ball joints in the shoulders here. You have ball joints in the elbows. Ball jointed hips, unfortunately, is a little wobbly, but not too bad. And you just have the swivel in the knees. That's transformation joint. And the head just rotates. Nothing too extravagant or crazy. So, yep, that's about it for Beachcomber. We'll stop right here, and we'll take a look at the new character in this wave, Slash. Okay, and here's Slash. This is the new character. It's part of the Dinobots. I'm not 100% sure if this is supposed to be a generation's representation of the movie Dinobot Slash. I've never gotten like a clear answer or explanation on that. I'm not sure if anybody really knows, but excuse me. But yeah, and this is a cool figure, but unfortunately this is my least favorite figure of the Legends. So it's 3 out of 3. So it's really not that bad, but it just doesn't grab me. I mean, I like the Raptor. The transformation's really cool, but I also can't help but think, you know, how is this going to look repainted as Dinobot from Beast Wars, since that figure was a character was a Raptor too. But there is a spot for a Titan Master, if you or Prime Master, if you remember. I did show that off. Now, unfortunately, I did make a little bit of a mistake because I didn't bother to look at the instructions. I just had the figure sitting, but really what you're supposed to do, instead of bending it at the waist, you got to bend it at that double knee joint, and then slot it in, and it actually fits in a lot better. So, kind of breaks the illusion of that humanness, what have you. You know, that these are, you know, humanoid the Titan Masters, Prime Masters are humanoid. Well, the Prime Masters aren't. They're Transformer gods. But anyway, for the transformation, go ahead and close the jaw if you have it open. Swing it back into this open, head back into the open section. Open that panel up too. You can then go ahead and just close that panel back up over it. Keep the those raptor arms up out of the way. Bring the tail back, and unfortunately, Slash is a butt head. And in fact, it's a double butt head because the dinosaur head is at the butt of the robot, and the robot head is at the butt of the dinosaur. But you can then bring the figure around. Just go ahead, spread the dinosaur legs, which will be the robot arms, out of the way. Unpeg the robot legs from the chest there. Really nice little bit of transformation. Go ahead, separate them. And then what you can do is at the thigh joint there, but right below the hip, rotate it around at the leg. Then come in from behind and rotate the feet out and around. However, you can grab it. There's a little tab there. There we go. My nails are a little short, so just go ahead, do that. Then you can just unbend the elbow. And here's a cool little bit. The raptor claws peg into the fist, so it does seamlessly work with the fist. But there you go. Maybe bring those dinosaur arms up, but they're gonna just be hanging there anyway. And there you have Slash in its robot mode. Classic Dinobot colors with the red chest and the black. But yeah, it's a cool figure. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just I don't have the connection to the character. Articulation, ball joints in the shoulders, ball joints in the hips. Is there just a swivel at the knees, swivel at the arms, just a simple bend there at the elbows, and the head can swivel, but that's about it. And since a lot of people really aren't grasping this, Slash does not combine with Grimlock in combiner mode, in the torso mode. It doesn't become armor, it doesn't become a weapon. It is just a sixth member of the Dinobot team created for Power of the Primes. I'm sure this is a pre-tool of something else, I don't know, but it doesn't combine. There's no reason to look. All you're going to do is end up breaking this figure or Grimlock or something else. I'm sorry that Hasbro didn't continue that play pattern, but if you go back to Combiner Wars, only maybe three legends, if you're not counting the repaint of Power Glide, really were 4 Shockwave. So 4 legends out of how many they released had some sort of interconnectivity with a combiner. And I mean, I might be forgetting one, but you know, don't break your figure is what I'm trying to say. So we'll pause here and we'll take a look at the last new Legends figure from Wave 1, Power of the Primes. Okay, and here's the last new figure, and this is the one that basically competes with Beachcomber for my favorite of the wave. Right now, I'm thinking this is my favorite. It is Wincharger. This is a great update to the original G1 Minibot. I would say better than the Hunt for the Decepticon Scout class figure, which is a little bit bigger, but also has a very different design aesthetic. This one is closer to the original G1 toy and animation scheme. It's a nice update. You know, you really do actually get a very nice looking Pontiac. I think it was the Thunderbird or something, or GT, or well, and basically, if you're not familiar with that kind of car, just go back and watch any 80s action show ever. Knight Rider, for example. I think it was the Firebird or Thunderbird, but Kit was a Pontiac and had that T-top, which is sort of represented here, just done up in black. So who knows if, you know, Hasbro does a black repaint, you know, little red swatch across the front, work something out. But much like all the other Titan Masters Legends figures in the Power of the Primes line. Wincharger can hold a Titan Master, Prime Master. Just sits in right there. You got to open up the top. And one thing I do want to say is Hasbro really learned from Titan's Return with Wheelie and Bumblebee. I mean, they learned relatively quick, but the cockpits for these figures, they are, built in. They're not formed by parts. They're separate pieces that the figure is built around. I think that's kind of cool. Now, getting back to the transformation, go ahead here and, you have to open this up anyway to take in and out the Prime Master, but then just go ahead, continue folding it back like so. Separate the legs. They are on a little tab system. Now, what you want to do is flip the first panel in, and then that second panel will come up, and I think you can see it on this side a little better. There's a little tab in the back right under the wheel that there's a slot on the back of that windshield that will wrap around. So that basically forms the legs and the heel. And then you can just come underneath here, bring back the hood of the car, separate the arms down and out like this. And here's my one problem, and just because this joint is a little tight, you got to do a double collapse right here. So you got to do is bring the head up and that whole back section up like this, then bring it down, and so it'll sit flush. There will be a little gappage right there, but then to finish it off, just come in, bring the hood down. There's a tab there that will peg into Wincharger's butt. And bada bing, bada boom, you got Wincharger. And basically, this is actually the same transformation as the original G1 toy. You flip, the back forms the legs, the sides form the arms, and, the head, and the G1 toy, you didn't fold the hood back, but, it formed the hood did form the back, so it's kind of accurate. Now, there has been a lot of talk about the head. I got to say, I think this head looks really cool, especially if you consider all the animation designs. This is how the figure looked. It does look a lot better in hand. Sometimes the photography doesn't work out well. But for articulation, you do have ball joints in the shoulders, ball joints in the elbows, swivel head, ball joints at the hips, and just a hinged knee. So no waist articulation, but you really don't need it on a figure this small. And one thing I do want to point out, there are these little tabs here on the sides that help, secure the car mode. It can sort of be his little magnet rays. But yeah, this is, again, a fantastic figure. Like I said, right now, it's my favorite of the line. When I first got him, Beachcomber was, so I've been going back and forth. Like I said, big nostalgia there for me. So we'll pause, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So, I've gone ahead and just brought everybody back out. My original G1 Beachcomber, there's a funny story there. My sister didn't like something I did, and when we were kids, I was very little, and, she was 3 years older. She felt she had the right to punish me, so she took Beachcomber and hid it. Well, for whatever reason, we were never able to find Beachcomber, and Beachcomber was lost in my house, and lost in her drawer, and I, never got it back. That happened a lot, and who knows? I mean, she claims she returned it. I don't remember ever getting it back, so maybe someday when I start going through closets that are full of my old toys, I'll find Beachcomber. Who knows? Wincharger was really one of my favorites, but unfortunately one day the wheel, which was pinned on, broke off, and my grandfather, using epoxy and some resin, was able to refashion a wheel and fix it. And, it looked okay. It didn't look right, but it was just great to have Wincharger back. And it's great to have them again now. I mean, I'm getting the more nostalgic feelings from this Wincharger than I did the Hunt for the Decepticons version, which I remember, if you guys remember, was kind of hard to find. But basically, the story going along now is The Deluxes and Legends have shown up at Target. Walmart got the Prime Masters. Toys R Us has gotten the Voyagers and everything else. So Toys R Us seems to be the best place to look. Also, Amazon has the Legends and Deluxes in stock, but they go in and out of stock very quickly, and their prices fluctuate. So you got to be careful, because I have heard they have been charging $12 for a Legend shipped and sold by Amazon. The Voyagers, something funny is going on. I've heard that some people have gotten Grimlock, some people have gotten Starscream. I have Starscream coming. Spoilers! But those who have ordered both, apparently there was a short shipment there, and they didn't get all the Voyagers they were supposed to, so, you know, apparently Grimlock's the issue, so a lot of people aren't going to get Grimlock before Christmas, but these are fun. Definitely, if you pick them up, make great stocking stuffers. Although, let's be honest, the Generations line really doesn't ring enough with kids that I would see kids being interested in these figures or characters. But then again, there's Rescue Bots and Robots in Disguise. Plenty of options there. So yeah, a lot of options right now to get these Legends figures. Don't pay the scalper prices. Really, they're not worth it. I mean, these are great $10 toys. Maybe a little less. Hopefully you can get them at like Target or something. But don't pay like $20 or $30 for a Legends class figure. This is your old pal Chuck for Beachcomber / and Wincharger. We will see you next time. And I do believe this will be my last new review before the holidays. So happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. Hopefully there'll be something coming over the new year. Well, actually there'll be Starscreams, but in case any of you don't watch that, happy holidays, have a great one, and take care.